So here's something that people didn't know about how I got the name. And I'm going to show a little bit of film clip I filmed the other day, and this will explain how I come up with the name Paradine. So it's all quiet at the moment, and the name of the film come from when I was sat in this cafe here, looking out across the road, and if I go around the corner, oh, trying to keep it steady, you'll see Paradine Court, and that's how I got the name Paradine from the short film. I think the inspiration for making Paradine was a fascination of the past and my past, and I wanted to try and encapsulate the feelings and emotions and the times of 1979 for someone who was 12 years old, and that was what the real inspiration behind it. But making it into a short film that could reflect on modern day as well. So it was quite a difficult one to put together because I had to make things factual about my own past from 1979 and also incorporate into the ideas of how I am today as a person. It's set in 1979, the year I was 12. I was 12 years old. Although it was a good time for me as a child, there was lots and lots of problems within the UK, and we didn't see much of the problems that were going on within that time with all the unemployment, all the different things that were going on. So I still hold 1979 and 1980 with real fond regard, even though they were really difficult times. I think the reason I wanted to tell the story was there's as I say there's two different stories going on within the actual film itself. There's the past and the present, and I wanted to look at my past because of how it's affected how I am today, and I wanted to explore what if that had been different, I could have done to change what happened to me in the past to affect the present. My personal connection with the story is the lead character Jay is actually me, and it's about my past. It's literally people from my past as a childhood, and just looking back over the sort of things we used to do. I'll give you an example with the character Woodsy. Um, he was just my best friend, and we used to walk around the fourth year block constantly on breaks, lunchtime, everything. We used to walk around and just talk what 12-year-olds talk about. So it was just literally looking at my past, looking at where I've come from. I want to tell the story because I feel that I've perhaps missed out on things that I would love to have, and by making the story in the way I have done, it will show and reflect the things that I feel were missing. I'm single, I'm on my own, I have no children, and perhaps I wanted that to be different. And the actual story looks at that and looks at opportunities that I could have had even back in them years because I wasn't confident that have caused the cause and effect, me being single now and today, and that's where it really comes from. So how do I cast the cast? Normally it's by people I've worked with before, or I've seen something that I've liked and something I want to someone I want to work with, and I'll specifically write the part for that person. So the adult version of Chris is a guy called James. Now I gave him the script and I asked another actor that I knew, which part do you think he'd be best at, Chris or Jay? Albert, my other friend who's an actor, come back to me and said he'll do Chris. And then when James come back to me, he says, I want to do Chris. So he kind of like self-cast himself for that particular role. The actual character, the adult Jay, hasn't been cast yet at all. We're in the process of doing that. The other cast members, the young Jay character needed to be able to sing and be able to act. So I picked somebody who could sing and act, but had also worked with one of the other characters who is actually playing the part of young Chris. So that's how that come together. And having worked with other young actors as well, I wanted to put those together as well. So I basically put together people I worked with before. I know what they're like to work with, and I've enjoyed working with them. So I've done that way. Now, the Woodsy character hasn't been finalised yet. We were still in kind of trying to work out what's happening with that particular role. So there's one. And the twins, again, people have been approached, and we're still working on things to see if they want to do the roles. But that's how I work. I tend to pick people based on either working with them before or actually liking them and getting to know them and finding them an interesting person. So that's how I do it. Anyway, I hope these have answered your questions. Just let me know and I'll answer some more if you want me to.